This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to WCFL Dolphins Talk. I hope everyone's having a blessed day today. It's a beautiful day in the Sunshine State. Nice, cool 70s crisp morning. Let's go ahead and bring on our co-hosts. We have Mr. Dolphin Winters. How you doing, my brother?
Always good. It's always a good morning when you're above ground, Papa Paul. How you doing this morning?
Yeah, I'm not looking at dirt or the inside of a coffin, so I'm doing wonderful.
There you go. It's sunny here in Philadelphia. Beautiful, about 87 degrees, but the humidity is creeping back in.
And we got the bearded wonder, Mr. John O'Hanlon.
What's up, John?
Guys? How are you?
Good. How are you this morning?
Papa Paul, you crack me up. You say you're not looking at the inside of a coffin. Well, if you were looking at it, you'd still be alive.
I understand that. If you remember back in the days, way back in the 1800s, they actually used to put strings. They actually used to put strings into the coffin that led to a bell above ground.
Well, yeah, they did that. Yeah, because they kept finding scratch marks in the top of coffins.
Yeah, and people were buried alive. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not looking at the inside of a coffin.
Yeah, well, it's 2024. Things are a little different.
I understand that, but you guys give me hell about my age and stuff all the time.
You ain't that old.
I know, but sometimes y'all say I am.
I'm like, listen, we talking to the bicentennial man. We should be into a lot of money right now.
Well, we have another guy for the panel. We got Tim the Fin Man.
Good morning. How everybody doing this morning?
What's going on?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
I saw the stat last night, man. We are 7-0 when Kevin Harlan calls a game, and Kevin Harlan will be calling the Week 1 and the Week 3 games.
Okay. Well, let's just keep that stat up then.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Keep him undefeated.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Something I wanted to bring up, which, talking with Winters before the show started, I guess I missed it or something, but the onside kick rule. Now, we know that the new onside kick rule is you can only do it in the fourth quarter. You can only do it if you're losing, and you have to let the opposing team know. Well, but I never heard any other thing else being said about it. Cruz Ruse, what's up, brother?
Cruz Ruiz, what's up, brother?
Never heard anything else. Is the format? I guess they go from what the regular kickoff rule is now to back to the old school kickoff for the onside kick. If somebody actually wanted to do an onside kick.
No, I believe the lineup stays exactly the way it is. They're set there, and you have to put it.
If that's the case, they didn't say anything about the change of the distance of the ball. The ball only has to travel 10 yards. That means if from where the kicker's kicking to where their kick team lines up, the ball can travel 10 yards and still be behind the kick team then.
Yeah, so I guess they would have to go back to the old school where everybody lines up with the ball,
Yes.
Yeah.
and you have to declare you're doing it so the other team knows you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, that's just interesting, and we haven't seen anyone even try it in preseason or anything. Or I think everyone's just going to give up on their onside kick at this point. Really?
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
you gotta let somebody. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I feel like that takes the element of surprise out. You gotta let somebody know before you're doing the onside kick.
Right.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
mean, yeah, it's going to force the other team to go for it on a fourth from
Mm-hmm.
whatever the yardage is to sit there. Because like, if I'm going to automatically tell my opposition what I'm going to do, then it's no need for me to even do it. So I'm just going to
Right.
sit there, and I would rather call a play which you don't know that's coming than a play that you know that's coming.
Right.
And at the same time, we're just assuming, because it was never really stated in the new rule selection, that they would revert back to the original kickoff lineup.
I'm sure it's in there somewhere. We just haven't seen it or read it.
Yeah, I'm assuming. I mean, all we can do is wonder and wait and see if anybody ever tries it this year.
If we see two of them through the whole year, I'm gonna. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
Yeah,
why
I'll
I
be
say
surprised we see
wait.
two.
That's why I say wait and see if anybody even tries it.
Yeah, because I mean, what was last year's success rate? Like 4% or something?
If
Yeah,
that.
something ridiculously low. Yeah.
Honestly, I wish instead of doing an onside kick, I wish they would do like 4th and 20. And if you convert the 4th and 20,
You
then
keep the ball. Yeah,
right.
Well,
yeah, that would be good.
did anyone see that Easy E is in a walking boot?
Yeah,
Yeah, I heard that.
So I mean, our receivers seem like they're dropping like flies almost.
Right.
Good morning, Michael Winters.
our receiving room is very thin right now.
So it would not be surprising to see us pick someone up that is either a free agent still or someone that gets released.
Right.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm waiting. They're going to pick up another veteran, somebody in their late 20s, early 30s, whose career is coming to a close, but has the experience and can bring some knowledge into the locker room. And
So,
Good
question.
morning, Joe Rist. Yes, sir.
Who on our team could be trade beat? I got like 3 or 4 names. Jeff Wilson, Barrios, Nick Needham, and Kid Cool.
I'd be surprised with Cater.
I'd be surprised with Nick, really, because he's so versatile.
Right.
Braxton Berrios, I actually joined a podcast last night, and I said I would not be surprised if Berrios doesn't make the team this year.
I agree.
Especially after seeing Malik Washington.
Yeah, Malik was
right.
just balling out the other night. I mean, his returns, he only had one where he didn't gain any yards that I can remember.
Right.
Yeah, it was crazy watching him return them balls.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's just not the fact that, Malik looks really good. And we're not saying Barrios is a bad player by far, but we all discussed that it's going to be some surprises. It's going to be some surprises this coming Tuesday on who's going to be on this roster and who's not.
Yeah, and I think the main reason we were keeping Berrios is for the return.
Mm-hmm.
But after Friday night's game, I mean, he's a decent receiver. Don't get me wrong.
Which right now we need, so they may not be cutting him.
And that's the only reason I said that it's one hand outweighing the other and stuff. It's right now they're both equal. So, because Craycraft is out for a while.
Yeah. And see, I think the Craycraft injury saved Barrios' job. If Craycraft wasn't injured, Barrios his odds of making a team would have been lower, in my opinion.
Well, I'll be
Yeah,
honest
it's
with you. He still has a chance to not making his team still. With you still got
Yeah,
some
yeah.
dogs still left, and it's unfortunate that Craig Kraft got injured the way he did, because I was looking forward to seeing what Craig Kraft was going to do this season as well. But I mean, definitely Burrow still might not make this team.
Jamie Righthart, Matt Henry. Good morning, gentlemen.
Because I want to say I could be wrong, but this whole preseason, Burials always looked like the worst receiver in my opinion.
Well, they really didn't use him a lot. I mean, it's
Right.
His returns were not anything special to me.
well, he actually
Yeah.
had a couple returns in the second game where, last year he did a lot of fair catching. He actually did
Yeah.
have a couple returns in the second game.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, it seemed like every return, at least Friday night, every return Malik did was like some good yardage.
Yeah, all but one.
Man, imagine imagine Taj Watson was healthy.
I think that's a secret weapon for us. I really think it's a reason why they put him on that list. And I think that's going to be something. I think we're going to see him this season. I really believe we will see him this season, but I think they're going to keep him in the tuck.
All right. Because I was just wondering, like, since he's injured, will he still make the team?
Well, he'll be on the IR, which he'll be out a minimum. IR is a minimum of 6 weeks, I think.
Grayson Murphy too.
That I'm not familiar with.
He is one of our undrafted outside linebackers. I think he played at UCLA. Yeah.
Okay. See, that's where it's tough. Our UDFAs. I mean, you got to look. You got Storm Duck. You have Murphy. There's several good UDFAs we have.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to be lucky if they don't make the team. I think we're going to be lucky if they make the practice squad.
Well, that's a hard one because you got to remember every team has UDFAs that they're going to want to keep. So
I understand that, but every team is also watching all the other teams' UDFAs as well. Let's go ahead and bring on Joe Riss. He just joined us. What's up, Joe?
Morning.
What's up, Joe?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, how's my audio?
Hey, sounds great.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm overseas right now, so I wanted to check it out, see how it worked.
Oh no, you good? Sound good.
Where you at, Joe?
I'm in Montenegro right now, in a city called Kotor, and it's about 100 degrees. And global warming is
man.
Yeah, I'll show you my background actually.
Are you in the service? You're on
Oh, that
vacation.
look beautiful.
That is
Yeah,
beautiful.
I'm working remote this week, but I'm doing a month-long vacation in Europe. Yeah, it's beautiful out here.
Good morning, Jaconda.
But I wanted to join. You guys were talking about who you think will get cut or who you think will make it.
Yeah, both.
Well, one thing I wanted to ask about, I don't know if you already talked about it, but Saran Neal. I hear a lot about people just kind of assuming he's on the team by default with special teams, things like that. Do you guys agree? Or do you think he's still got to compete against others in that defensive back room?
Winners, you want to take that?
I don't know much about him. I'm not going to sit here and try to BS. I'll say this as a whole. I think there's a lot of guys that might make special teams. Like Nick might still make this team and be on special teams. He might be a special teams guy maybe. But it's going to be a lot. I believe that a lot of people that we think that's going to make this team doesn't make the team.
Well,
I really believe that.
but we got to look at. I think with our wide receiver units, it's anybody who's a receiver in any way, shape, or form is liable to make the team with the injuries we have going on right now.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Thing about going to be playing the trick. I mean, our team might look a little different a few weeks in once people are healthy again.
Yeah, especially after we have an early bye week, it's really going to look different when we come back from that bye week too.
Well, so Ron Neal, they brought in specifically for special teams. So I'm
Right.
not going to say he's a lock, but he's probably 95% making the team.
Yeah, that's kind of my question. Is he a shoe-in, or is he, got something to worry about with one of the other guys? Like, I don't know if Duff does anything on special teams or, one of our receivers. I guess that's the biggest question mark to find out. What is it, tomorrow that they announce everything?
No,
No,
Tuesday.
Tuesday. So 2 days.
Yeah, everything has to be in by Tuesday, 4 p.m.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see it could possibly be as early today. You might see the first 10 or 12 that get released.
Right.
Yeah.
Because every organization wants to give their guys a chance that don't make the team to make another squad. So you might see as early as today, you might see a list of 10 or 12 guys that are definitely getting cut. And then tomorrow you might see it's the last 12 to 15, 16 guys that, is the hard part for the team.
And you got to remember, with it being cut down to 53, there's a handful of guys on every team that's going to end up on the IR or the PUP. So they're technically on the team, but they're not on the team because they can't play for the first 4 to 6 weeks.
Yep. And then you're going to see the guys that they want to keep on the practice squad will be the last of the cuts because those are the guys they're trying to hold on to.
Yeah.
Right. I would say when it comes to undrafted free agents, we was hitting the nail in the coffin when it comes to cornerbacks.
Well, we have 9 cornerbacks altogether right now, and we're only going to keep 6, maybe 7. So, I mean, we have 9 good cornerbacks.
Yes.
Good problem to have.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's definitely a good problem to have. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. A lot of going on. I know there's still a couple games yet to play today. I don't know who right off the top of my head.
Right. Because I mean, we had
So-
about 6 to 8 games yesterday. So
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to check that.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting because then you'll really get to see a lot of who's gonna start being cut.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who makes it from Steelers on that O line. Like who Steelers gonna cut?
Yeah. Our O line is going to be interesting.
All right, you got 3 games today. You got Tennessee at New Orleans, Arizona at Denver, New England at Washington.
Okay.
Morning, Lewis.
what's up, Lewis? Yeah, I kicked myself off trying to bring him up. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
You're the only guy. You're the only guy in the world that throws himself out of his own club.
Literally.
Yeah. Listen. This good morning, gentlemen. This panel definitely needs winners before it needs me. I can promise you that.
What's good with you, brother? It's good to have you up here, man. What's on your mind?
No, I was listening, and I'm going to be disappointed when I say this, winners, because I heard you bring them up. But Taj Washington will not be coming back. They placed him on IR to where he's missing this season.
Well, it might be. You know what? As much as we probably would love to have him this season, I'm just happy that he's a part of the organization. Because when I checked from him from camp, bro, oh man, that's a good player to have on IR. It's a shame that he is on IR, but he's from what I seen, he definitely the future.
Yeah, I think when the Dolphins placed him on IR, I think it was more of a stash move because I don't think he was going to make the original 53 roster. And if you try to put him on the practice squad, he would have just got claimed. So once a little nagging injury came up, they were like, oh, perfect opportunity. Let me stash him so he can be in the system for the whole year, in all the meeting rooms, learn the playbook, and next year hit the ground running.
Right.
So,
I
but
totally
you know,
agree with you. I think this is like his redshirt year.
absolutely. But now, you know, with hindsight looking, you know, where we are now,
Mhm.
with all the injuries you guys were touching on with the wide receivers, now it's probably looking like they probably wish they probably wouldn't have put him on the IR to where he's missing the season. You know, so it's just a tough situation. But I just really wanted to come up here and tell y'all that because, listen, I'm disappointed we're not going to see Taj this year.
I know, but it's
Yeah.
I think it's something that we can look forward to in the future. I mean, and I think we were talking about earlier about players that we're going to be surprised with going to make the team and players that might not make the team. Because I think it's going to be a big surprise come Tuesday. I really do.
Yeah,
I really do. You know,
there's going to be a lot of things interesting going on Tuesday. Well, between now and Tuesday, really.
right.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of teams today and tomorrow putting out their initial list of who's being cut and who's not making their teams, so that these guys do have a chance to jump on with somebody else, or they might even do it where you're going to see a team where they're going to cut somebody and then put them right back on the practice squad. They're just trying to play that game of, we're getting rid of this guy, he's not that good, and other teams are going to go, oh, they cut him early, so we don't need him, and then they're going to sign him to the practice squad.
Right.
Everybody's playing the game, all 32 teams. They're all playing this mind game of who we keep and who we're not, who we want on the practice squad.
So, Lewis, I got a question for you. Do you think there's going to be, is there anyone in particular you see as being a surprise cut?
I do, and unfortunately, I think it's Nick Needham, bro. I think Nick Needham days in Miami are number. I agree with you, Papa Paul, that he's versatile, right? Jack of all trades. But I think they're going younger. And I think, a guy like Storm Duck that's kind of flashed here and there, I think he would get an opportunity. I think Saron Neal is a lock for this team. I think McMorris, kind of the preseason he had in training camp and stuff, always flashing and making plays. For me, if I had to just call out one guy, a surprise cut, I would say Nick Needham. I think there's going to be,
Mm-hmm.
Kendall Fuller, he's a little bit older. Jalen Ramsey's a little bit older. I'm not saying that they're gone, right? But they're later in their careers than early. And I just think that they're going to try to put some youth on this football team. And I'm not saying Nick Needham's old, but I just think, again, from a surprise cut standpoint, I think it's Nick Needham.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying there. And it's hard. And it is a surprise because we grow attached to a lot of these players, especially when you're involved as much as we are, some of us are, with the team and stuff. You grow attached with some of these players, and you hate to see them go. But all in all, as we've said many times before, it's a business.
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, I mean, they might not work out here, they might get cut here, but they might work out somewhere else.
Yeah.
Look at Ginkel. Ginkel did very well with the Vikings last year. As much as we didn't want to see him go, he
didn't do well with the Vikings last year.
Well, he left this. Well, he's going there, or he's actually going to be playing there because he played He played in a couple preseason games already.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. No, Van Ginkel. I can't even go there because my wife's already getting mad talking about it. She hates that he left. That was her player. She wanted his jersey, everything, and he left. I hear her be in the background getting mad because he left and everything. So,
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Minnesota's a good pick. Winners, I think that's a candidate for Nick Needham if he doesn't make the Miami Dolphin roster. I think Nick Needham is on a plane to Minnesota to go back with Brian Flores. I think he would be a prime candidate for the Minnesota Vikings if he didn't make the Dolphins roster.
I could see that, especially with the injuries that have riddled the Vikings.
Mhm. And didn't Flores drafted Nick Needham, correct?
Nick
Nick-
Needham was a Flores guy. Yes, he was.
Yes.
But he was a UDFA.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And the Vikings just added a corner, didn't they?
Yeah, Stephon Gilmore, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they need more depth, I'd agree with you, Lewis. I think Flo would be taking a flyer on him again.
Oh, Houston too, because I think Houston just had a couple of injuries Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember too, Nick's from California, so if the Chargers or Rams or somebody needs somebody, he would definitely take that up and go home. I mean, I hope he doesn't get cut. I like him. I like him as a person. I like him as a versatile player. But if they do cut him, don't be surprised if he goes back out to LA.
And also his mom makes the best chocolate chip cookies.
Listen, she's awesome. Anybody that's had a chance to meet Shannon, she's just unbelievably what a good person.
Absolutely. Very interactive, very approachable. She'll keep it 100 with you, and she definitely is a loving soul. So, without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I've been lucky. I've got to spend quite a bit of time with Shannon out in LA, in Miami, making cookies for the team. Last year, in Fort Lauderdale area to take to the team. She's just unbelievable. And Nick is just like her, just great people. Good to be around. There was a rumor last year that Los Angeles was interested in Nick as well. So, or not Oakland, Las Vegas.
One of those Raider teams.
Yeah. It was Los Angeles, then Oakland, and then Las Vegas. So trust me, it's all good.
Real quick,
the Raiders were interested in him.
Real quick, I do want to say 2 weeks from today will be our first live tailgating show. If you guys are around East 12 at our home opener, be sure to stop by and see John or I, because we'll be live with our tailgating show.
Might be a little loud in the background. We'll try to find some quiet spots so we're able to talk to people.
Yeah, good luck with that.
No, 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock's not too bad because some people are still coming in and setting up.
It's after 10 o'clock is when it starts really getting loud.
Yeah, because we get there at 8 and we get everything set up and going so that we're ready, and the DJs usually starts about 9 o'clock right by us. So DJ Bear will be there, Lil Bear. So we should be able to find some decent spots where it's a little quieter so we can talk to people.
Yeah, usually down because I will have an orange parking pass for the home opener. So down around Alley is not too bad because there's really not a DJ down that way. Right. That's where I'll end up setting up. Otherwise, if I'm not in Orange Park, and John and I will be on separate sides of the earth, and
and the sidebars, gentlemen, on the panel, we got to talking about DJs, congratulate DJ Sick Turtle and his lovely wife getting married. Congratulations to them.
Congrats.
Yeah, definitely a lifelong full of happiness and bliss. Definitely.
Absolutely. Most definitely. Congratulations.
Congratulations on that. Yes.
Don't do that, man. Don't start doing that. I'm at work and you yawning. Don't do that.
Don't watch me so closely. I know you're just watching me wait for me to screw up somewhere.
Well, look, at least you ain't knock yourself off. I knocked myself off.
I mean, has anybody else heard any interesting news going on anywhere in the NFL?
I just saw, side note, preseason, running back Kansas City guy, bro, he looked like a tank out there. I think his name was Carson Steele. Man, he had like a 50-yard run. The way he used his power, it was like he broke like 4 or 5 tackles. That was kind of impressive to watch.
Well, thank you, Lewis. I see you dropped off. Thank you for joining us, Lewis.
Thank
It's
you,
always a
Lewis.
pleasure having you on here.
Appreciate you.
Great man, great person, great human being. Yeah, there's a lot of news going on. It's going to be interesting to see who on other teams as well, who gets cut, who gets kept, and who we end up picking up from other teams, because you know we will.
Yeah, Tuesday's gonna be like Christmas. We got ready in the morning to see the schedule. I mean, not the schedule, but the roster.
Yeah. Now let me go ahead and play a real quick commercial break. It's 9:30. We have 30 minutes left.
What's up, y'all? This is Chef Jew. Looking for a great chef for your next catering party, private party, office party, etc. with welcome watering meals and desserts? Let Chef Jew Catering and Sweet Treats take care of it for you at an affordable price. Call me at 786-804-8096. Also, reach me at chefjewcatering@gmail.com. Direct message on Facebook and Instagram at Chef Juice Catering. Chef Juice Catering and Sweet Treats. Food with a passion. We do it all.
Chef Jew, South Florida, Miami-Dade, Palm Beach area. Be sure to look him up, folks. You can't go wrong with his sweet treats.
You ain't never lied. They're addictive.
Yeah.
Now all we need is some edibles. Nothing wrong with some good brownies.
Man, that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, just looking forward to the season, gentlemen. I mean, 2 weeks from today, we'll be getting ready for the Jags, which is not an easy squad. No team is easy in the NFL, and you know they're gonna have a lot to prove to show the league that they're that team, and we have to show the league that we're that team too. So right out the gate, it's a heavyweight fight.
And they laid Atlanta Falcons out the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, they laid them out 31-0.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's
mean,
preseason. I don't put a lot into that. So
no, I know, but it's basically, you know, their backups against our backups and stuff. But it all depends. It's just like, you know, you look at us. We started off with the second, third stringers on Friday night's game, where the Bucs started off with their first stringers.
right.
Not all of them, but a good portion of them. And so you take away that first stringer touchdown, and it was really only 17-14 then.
Right. You know,
But I tell you what, the Friday night, I'm pretty sure that Skylar Thompson locked in his QB2 after Friday night.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, they didn't even let Mike White finish one quarter.
No, he played the first quarter. They took him out in the second quarter.
I thought it was right before the first quarter was over with.
No, it's just before. Just before half.
What's up, Hooked Up Joe? Good morning, my brother.
What's up, Joe?
Good morning. Just had to make it a double Joe Sunday today.
What's up, Joe? How's it going?
That sounds like some Dairy Queen special.
I already had my cup of Joe.
Yeah, same. I'm on to my juice now, Mr. Healthy over here.
Well, Mr. Riss is on to his nightcap soon.
Yeah, it's 3:30 here.
Yeah.
Although I woke up only a few hours ago. There was some sort of big event until 3 a.m. last night, and blasting electronic music in the city.
Okay.
So it's kind of the morning for me.
Are you exercising or walking to breakfast?
I'm getting some walking in. It's I was gonna check out the beach, but it's overcrowded, so I'm probably not gonna go there. It's about 99 degrees out though.
And that's why it's overcrowded.
Yeah, they got a cruise ship docked up here too, so there's extra
there
people.
you go.
That's
That would drive me nuts if I lived in a city that was docking cruises like that, right?
Yeah, it'd be a whole different life.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually go on a cruise the first week of December. When we get back, while we're on the cruise, it's the away game for we have an away game we're at, but when we get back, we come back to our home game against the Jets. So we'll get off the cruise ship and go straight to tailgating.
That sounds like a back-to-back fun.
Oh yeah, it will be. That's for sure.
Yeah, man. I hope you enjoy yourself, man.
Hey, I enjoy myself every day. I'm above ground.
Yes, sir. That's the blue to be.
Hey, speaking of cruises, is there a Dolphins one this year or next year?
In
Yeah,
March,
there you go.
in March
John?
there is a Dolphins fan cruise. Get a hold of me on Messenger or Facebook or Maria Caraballo. Maria is the one that set everything up. Right now we have, I believe, 47 cabins booked of Dolphins fans. Obviously, it's a regular cruise, but she set this up and got the word out there. So as many Dolphins fans that would like to hang out together and
Got it.
just be together for a week out at sea on a boat. So
Sean Wooden already booked his cabin. He actually booked a few cabins from what she had said.
I believe he booked 4.
Yeah.
Him and his family, and then OJ's supposed to be booking. There's a couple others.
Troy, I think Troy's supposed to be booking. She's
Troy,
trying to get
Kirby, Richmond Webb.
Webb.
They're not booked yet, so don't take that. If you hear a name, they may not book. We don't know. They've said they want to go, but obviously, life and commitments and things like that might get in the way. So.
In the meanwhile, since we brought up his name, Richmond Webb, September 7th, 6 p.m. until late. Support of Richmond Webb, the Hall of Fame campaign. Games, alumni appearance, autographs, food bar, podcast, Marriott Maritime Hotel, 2161 Maritime Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We're going to be doing our podcast from 6 p.m. until whenever. We're going to be doing a lot of interviews with people, asking them why they feel Richmond Webb should be in the Hall of Fame. And we're doing this all to push him into and get him in the Hall of Fame.
2 things, Paul. One, there is a new flyer out for that, so find that on Maria's page. They changed it a little bit. And 2, if you can make the event, there's going to be pad and paper out there. You can write a short letter to the NFL saying why you think Richmond should be in the Hall of Fame. Maria and Holly and them are going to get those mailed out on that Monday so that they get to the Hall of Fame in time. You can also make a short video. They'll show you how to do that to send to the Hall of Fame. So as much exposure as we can get for him to get him into the semifinals, that's what that night is for.
Question: what if we're not from Florida and we want to write a letter?
Oh, you can write a letter directly to the Hall of Fame. You could just Google the address and
All right.
write a letter and throw it in an envelope and mail it, and it'll get to the Hall of Fame. And the more of those they get, the easier it is for us to get Richmond into the semifinals of making the Hall of Fame.
And they need to try and be there by September 15th at the latest.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah,
Good morning,
anybody
Adam
can write
Sadowski and Ryan AP.
Anybody can write a letter. I know there is a link, and I know Maria has it, where you can make a video and send it directly to the Hall of Fame. So that's what this is all about, is just trying to get Richmond, who, I believe everybody on this panel believes he should be in the Hall of Fame when you're an all-decade player at left tackle. So
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
You know my philosophy. Whenever I remember Richmond Webb, all I could think of is the king of the O-line.
Yeah.
This is the information that I posted here about the Pro Football Hall of Fame contact, and we can just put that in our Facebook posts and when we're on our YouTube streams and kind of push that a little bit to our community.
There you go.
I'll be doing it on my Facebook page right now.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Joe.
My
Thanks, Joe.
my Dolphins page, that is. The Miami Dolphins group.
Yes, anybody that's listening, you want to write a short letter, it could be as little as a paragraph, it could be a whole page. You can Google his stats. You can, I asked OJ on our show Wednesday, how come he's not in already? And OJ pretty much just said, listen, Richmond's a quiet guy. He's not out there promoting himself. He never has. So that's why it's important for us to do it.
Right.
Also the fact, I think, as he had said, when you look at it, how many offensive linemen and other people do you actually really see in the Hall of Fame?
Right, because there's no stats on him. You can't say he blocked this many times, or you can look at things like sacks given up or pressures or things like that, but it doesn't tell the whole story. What tells the story is a guy like Bruce Smith saying the toughest player he ever went up against was Richmond Webb.
Yeah, that says enough right there. That speaks volumes. And think about it: if just the 7-time Pro Bowls, when the Pro Bowl meant something, no disrespect to the players of the day, but the Pro Bowl meant a whole lot more in the 90s than it does in today's era of football.
Absolutely.
And
they weren't turning it down.
Yeah. You go ahead, Joe.
No, so I was just saying, yeah, they don't turn it down back then. I mean, it was a true honor, and it really meant something.
Absolutely.
Is that fixable? You guys think that it'll ever gain relevancy again?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
The NFL is all about the money, and the more money they can make on it, the more they're going to do to keep making money. They don't care about the legitimacy of it or guys declining because they just, you don't want to be here? We'll take the next guy who had the next votes, and we don't care because it's all about the money.
Yeah.
The cash cow.
I will always say this
game now, right?
Once Sean Teller creamed the punter, that was the end of the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, that was the beginning of the end. Yeah.
I will never forget that play. Everybody looked at me like, yo, dude, this is the All-Star. This is the Pro Bowl. Like, you're supposed to chill. Like, he went full speed ahead. So that was one of those, like, this is still a football game, like, literally. So, but yeah, it's more of a flag football game than anything.
Yeah, it's cash cow. It's to bring people out to see their favorite players that made it and spend their money on the weekend to be in there, and that's why they keep doing more and more things about it.
Right. So is everything? What's funny? Not to cut anybody off. Now, is this? I've been seeing this online, and is this facts or is this something that's just been? Is this just been AI generated or something? Because I've been hearing that the Olympics was talking about this, but I would like to know if this is actually what's the name? Actually, this is facts.
No, yeah, flag football will be in the next Olympics.
Wow, you might as well give us the gold. With that talent, come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, but they're not using NFL players. America has a flag football team.
I know.
Did you hear about the flag football player who said that he's better than Patrick Mahomes at flag football?
Yeah, the quarterback.
I urge you guys to watch his highlights. Watching him, his throwing motion is hilarious. You think Tua's got a weak arm? This guy looks like a trebuchet when he's trying to throw it 25 yards. For real, he's like 5'9" too.
Well, we have 15 minutes left, folks, so let's keep it going. A good show.
I'm glad the guy's confident, but to say you're better than Patrick Mahomes, man, you must be smoking something really good.
Right. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I don't think I got anything that's that good. I'm sorry.
I wish I did.
I wish I did, man. And if I did, it still wouldn't let me say any type of shit like that out my mouth.
Right?
So,
I ain't lying.
yeah. Right? You know,
As a Dolphin fan, I can admit Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback out there.
right
He's
now,
won 3 of the last 4 Super Bowls. How can you can't compare anybody else to him as far as that goes.
Right.
when you have a coach that's seen everything, he has seen everything in the NFL, like Andy Reid. That man has seen literally everything that you can imagine. There's not much that has gotten past this man. There's not much that's new to this man. So that's why I talk. And they believe his philosophy in Kansas City.
Okay, then here's a question: do you think Andy Reid's going to retire after this year?
Probably
I think
not.
so.
No. If he wins the Super Bowl, yes. If he doesn't win the Super Bowl, he's gonna come back for one more year.
I think Travis Kelce might retire too.
I think if he wins the Super Bowl, he'll definitely retire.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't win the Super Bowl, he still might retire because there's been talk about him retiring soon. I think to be with family and stuff. Who knows? I don't know, but I think even whether he wins or loses, I think he'll end up retiring personally because he's done enough as it is, really.
Mm-hmm.
I want to end with a 2-year dive.
I see. I look at it the other way. How can you retire if you have Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback and you're winning like that?
That's exactly what I was about to say. They're on the fast track. You think about it. They're actually on the fast track. Things are clicking for them. Every time that anybody counts them out, they find a way to win.
Do you think if he does retire that they're going to be still the powerhouse contenders? You think somebody else is going to be able to move into that position?
It's a lot of talent up there. It's not like you don't have a lot of talent. And once you got a quarterback, you got a once in a generational talent like a Patrick Mahomes at the realm of your team. All you need to do is sit there and figure it out where you can sit there and make that peanut butter and jelly work. And that's what it really comes down. That's what it really comes down. It's the chemistry. You can bring a system in. Doesn't have to be the same system that Andy Reid runs, but if you can bring a system in that favors his characteristics and his abilities to sit there and lead the team every week, Sunday, Thursday, Saturday, whatever day of the week they play, he's going to still perform.
Does their OC and DC, are they calling their own plays and doing their own thing, or is he is he heavy into that? I don't know.
That would be up to the head coach and the coordinators. That would be up to them.
I mean, right now, was Andy Reid calling his own plays, or is Andy Reid kind of letting his offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator run their half, and he's overseeing it all? Because that's going to make a difference.
Might be half and half. I think it might be half and half. He might let the coordinators call, and he might sit there and call some as well. So it might be half and half with them.
Well, I know Andy does call a lot of the offensive plays. So if he retires, the next head coach just has to come in and not screw it up.
Right.
I think the league wants to see a chase too, with Mahomes chasing Brady's amount of rings. So I think I would assume that they're going to get a good coach. They're going to be setting up Kansas City for success. I see it being a chase, almost like we saw, with home runs and the MLB and everything. Someone's got to catch Brady.
It generates interest. It generates dollars.
Yeah.
Here's another question along the same sort of line. Okay. It's a 2-part question. If Andy Reid retires, does Bill Belichick take his place, or does Bill Belichick even come back?
Bill Belichick needs to sit his ass at home and just sit there and look at the rings that he cheated to get. That's all I'm saying on that. I mean,
the only ring I want Belichick looking at is the one he's going to put on his 24-year-old girlfriend's hand.
It's true.
But I don't think Bill coming back. I think the NFL is transitioning away from older coaches. That's why I think that this could be Andy Reid last year. We saw Bill Belichick, the guy from Seattle. I can't remember, Pete Carroll. What's another old coach that got fired?
Mike Holmgren.
Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Put Reed in the old coach category though, just because of
Yeah,
his
yeah.
dynamic nature. He's not really old like that. It wouldn't be a 1-to-1 replacement from old coach to old coach. It would be from dynamic coach to Deadwood.
Right, right.
I'm not sure the NFL is transitioning away from older coaches. I think the younger coaches have kind of forced the hand because when you get guys like, you know, Sean Payton, who's getting up there a little bit, but you know, the Rams coach, our coach, these younger guys that are more innovative and like to do things differently that excites the fans is what's getting rid of the older coaches.
Yeah, you're right. It's all about scoring.
Yeah.
And,
The more they put up
and
on the board, the more people are going to pay to go see a game.
Right.
You know, it's unfortunate. Fans don't want to see a 9-3 game good defensive battle. They want to see a 31-28 game.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's
NFL
going to be
needs to do something about the offensive line then, because offensive lines across the league are in rough shape. I mean, last year we lost half the starting quarterbacks in the first 10 weeks. We lost like one every 2 weeks, every other week. Starting quarterback, boom, out for the season. I mean, it's rough out there, and you know that every team's going to hit injuries, and every team has a crappy backup quarterback. You know, so you know, you just gotta go at the season and hope for the best. Every team has to do that. It's not just us; it's everybody. You know, talking about
Right.
you know everybody's kind of harping on a little of the backup quarterback situation and stuff like that. I'm like, who has a good backup quarterback? You know, and Skyler didn't do that bad. I'm glad to see Skyler making it into number 2. I wasn't here when y'all were probably talking about that earlier, but
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
ramble into that.
We've been talking about that since about, I think, the last couple of weeks since
Well-
Mike White and Skyler have been playing, and we definitely said I think we all agree that Skyler should be the number 2 quarterback.
Especially after Friday night's game, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. He put a stamp on it.
It's kind of like I'm happy for Skyler that he did it, you know, because I was always saying if he's good enough to be the second string quarterback, he's going to be the second string quarterback. It's not us saying he's good or bad. We're going to find out for ourselves whether or not the team thinks he's good enough, right?
Right.
And it looks like they're going to. So that you're like, yay, but at the same time, you're like, man, he's our backup quarterback. So it's like a love-hate relationship with the situation for me.
That's like Nintendo.
Is Mike White the highest paid QB3?
Ooh, that's a good question.
What was that, Joe?
I mean, what are we paying him? Like $5 million to sit at the third spot? Is Mike White the highest paid QB3 in the league?
Well,
If he is QB3, he will be the highest paid one. Yeah.
He will be the highest paid.
I mean, we could release him and save like $3.9 million, I think.
And we're not keeping 3 quarterbacks.
I thought we were going to do that and invest
if-
in some line help or something.
Yeah, we're getting the 3.5 and going to cut him because we're not keeping 3 anyway. It's the roster spot as much as the money. We're not using that. Well, roster spots are gold, and we are not using one for a third quarterback when no other team is, or where few other are.
Yeah, because you can now keep your emergency quarterback on the practice squad. They're allowed to travel with the team. They cannot dress out unless both quarterbacks are taken out of the game because of medical reasons.
Right, true emergency. So in that case, the question is Mike White, say when we cut Mike White and he goes on waivers, is he going to make backup quarterback for a team, or is he going to come back, and would he come back to our practice squad as practice squad player, or are we going to be totally looking for a new emergency quarterbacks never played our scheme?
That's a good question because I don't know anybody that would probably pick up Mike White personally. You know, I don't see it.
I think
in my
he's
eyes.
got the McDaniel offense. I think anyone would love to have McDaniel's QB figure out what we're doing on offense. I think a lot of people would like to pick him up even if he's never going to touch the field. Same goes with some of our running backs, wide receivers, any of the skill positions. They want to know what we're doing, and it's a copycat league. and he helps
Yeah.
them.
That's pick him up as QB2 though on the roster off of waivers. So they'd be having to either carry 3 quarterbacks just to have him to try to get that information without,
Right.
or he'd have to be their on roster second backup quarterback. They'd have to suck pretty bad.
He could be. He could have an injury in the next week or so.
Yeah.
Or maybe someone gets traded away and they say, "Hey, we're going to roll with this guy. Let's bring in a different backup." So I don't know. I'd see him getting on another team just because of the knowledge of that offense, especially in the division.
I was thinking of off waivers, like when everybody is on the waiver wire, when everybody's doing their cuts. I don't think he's going to be a pickup.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Right.
Team don't come to my mind. I was thinking the whole time, and I'm like, no, they're pretty good. Yeah.
All right, we're down to 4 minutes to go. So,
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say fins up.
Okay.
Peace, love, fins up.
Love and fins up.
Fins up, man.
Good to see you, Joe.
Anybody else have any last words to say or anything coming up they want to talk about?
No, just go on the fan pages, look at the flyers for the upcoming events. First tailgate, what's going on that whole first week. Maria Caraballo has everything up on her page. If you're coming into town, there's a lot going on that week.
Because she's even doing a games night that Wednesday night. Also, she told me.
Yeah. There's a lot of different things going on that whole first week because a lot of us are coming in from out of town. So they're trying to keep everybody together, keep everybody busy. If you are coming in from out of town, look at Maria's flyers, the hotel that's listed on there. They gave us a special rate for Dolphins players or Dolphins fans. So if you're coming in from out of town and you want a hotel cheaper that's close by,
you can scan that QR code right there on the flyer.
That's awesome.
And it works because I have a kid up here that grew up with my boys. He contacted me the other day. He's coming down with 2 of his friends for week 1. And I sent him the information and he went on and then he called me. He goes, "Is this for real?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "We punched it in 2 nights, Saturday and Sunday, and 3 people in 1 room. And this is all it's going to cost." I'm like, "Yeah, that's for real. Book it."
There you go.
He couldn't believe how low the price was for the 2 nights.
Well, that's for the first week because the rest of them are up there in prices already.
Well, even first week, you got to remember it's right after Labor Day, so not a lot of people travel. So
yeah, because I went and looked at. I know for not the Monday night game. I think Fan Club Weekend, their prices are up there, but of course that's going to be any hotel. That's going to be any hotel that weekend.
That's only when you first look at it. When you go to finish and pay, that's when it gives you the discount.
Well, I'll double check it, but yeah.
Yeah, when you go going on like that for go ahead.
Go ahead, Joe.
I was going to ask, is anything like that going on for the Cardinals game? I think that's
Fan Club Weekend.
Club Weekend. So yeah, if you want to book a hotel, go into that. When you go into finish,
for sure.
To book it is when you get the discount. So you can go to book, and then it'll tell you what the total price is for what you're booking.
Yeah, the day before is Hurricanes versus Florida State. I don't know if you guys saw the Florida State loss last night, but I'm going to be down that whole weekend.
They did over in Ireland, yeah.
Yeah.
And they barely lost that game. It came down to that last 5 seconds, and that was a good field goal. Trust me, my father-in-law, and I mean I'm an FSU fan, but my father-in-law graduated from FSU 50 plus years ago. About 60 years, actually about 70 years ago, he graduated from there. He's an old man, and he hollers at the TV more than anybody I know when it comes to FSU playing. We got to go, folks. It's that time. Peace, love, and fins up, everybody. Y'all have a blessed day and blessed rest of the weekend.
Peace.